in a very tight four-way primary race for Sacramento Mayor, Dr. Flojan Cofer came out on top, winning the chance to advance to the November general election, besting several contenders with much more experience than she's had at City Hall. Dr. Flo with me now in studio to talk about where the campaign goes from here. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. We've got to check in on this race. Now, to get in a race like this when there's not an incumbent, every candidate, of course, has to really believe that they can win. But now that you've had some time to look back at the primary and evaluate the strategies that you used, did you expect things to come out so close and for it to be such a dogfight for such a long time over the results counting? What are you thinking looking back at the primary?
Yeah, well, what we really saw during the primary was people really wanting a change. And we created a campaign that was open to everyone. This campaign is saying it doesn't matter if you've never been involved with politics or you've been involved for your entire life and you consider yourself to be a wonk. There's a space for you here. And I honestly think that's the beauty of local government, is that there really is a way to be able to maximize all the benefits locally and minimize the risks, a way for us to be able to collaborate in ways that don't exist in the same way as we go further up the chain of governance and we get into the state and into, federal elections. And so it's really nice to be able to bring people together, to be able to create communities within community and really allow people to be able to shape the vision for what the city of Sacramento looks like. And that's the exciting part. And I think that's what we saw in the primary election, was people showing up. And so were we excited? Absolutely. Were we surprised? No, we knocked 25,000 doors. We, had over 400 volunteers, and we raised almost $500,000 from small dollar donors who rolled up their sleeves and said, we believe in this and we want to be a part of a new Sacramento.
You kind of touched on the next bit that I was going to ask about. Given that candidates that were initially in this race were two former Sacramento City Council members, you had a state senator, you've been appointed to a city commission but not held elected office at City Hall. With the voters having chosen you as the top vote getter so far in this particular race, you touched on the fact that you think that they're thinking it's okay if you haven't been doing this for a long time, but do you think it's also an indictment in any way of what has been going on for a long time?
I think it's really about people wanting change. And I'm reminded so much of, something that Neil deGrasse Tyson said. He said, when we look at, so many of our legislators, we're missing out on scientists. We're missing out on people with a different perspective. I bring a public health perspective. And I also think that people see experience as being valued and diverse. I have served on more city commissions than any of my opponents.
Okay.
I have worked with the county in more ways than most of my opponents had, and I have also been a grassroots person who's been involved in our communities and who has been experiencing many of the things that Sacramentans are experiencing. And so I expressed in the campaign our frustrations, our motivations, our vision for the city that we live in, and I think that resonated with voters.
Okay, so homelessness is something that's resonating with voters. Huge concern in the capital city. Concerns have intensified since the primary, with the folks behind Camp Resolution now suing the city over this lease agreement and being told to get out, and people being told to get out without there being permanent housing. Cities come back and said, okay, well, maybe people can stay. Also said maybe we're going to build permanent housing there. If you were mayor right now, what is it that you'd be doing with this particular homeless situation?
Well, first and foremost, we would have goals as a city council, because it's really hard to accomplish anything if you don't know where you're going. And so many of the things that are happening in the city are happening as one-offs or in silos. And so we need to come together and say, what is the strategy? Camp Resolution was part of that strategy. We executed as a city a contract with them to say that they're going to be able to be here and here's what they're going to be afforded. And I think the city could have stepped up some of the ways that it supported them. There's no running water there. That's a problem. There's no electricity there. That's a problem. But here we have a self-governing community of people like Betty, who had open heart surgery and just, goes to dialysis 3 days a week. People who are working as mechanics and are living there, and we're telling them that they're going to lose their housing when they've been building something that the city desperately needs. That's going in the wrong direction. And so what I would do is make sure that as many of our safe grounds can stay open as possible, and we'd have a clear goal. How many are we going to set up by the end of the year so that we can mobilize all of our city resources and our county resources, allowing our county partners to step into their rightful place as the lead partner on homelessness,
okay,
and us to be able to have a shared, collective, regional vision for how we are going to accomplish things so that we can all be pushing in the same direction. And I think it's really clear that that hasn't happened, and that's part of the reason why we have so many back and forths about where we're going, because we haven't agreed on where we are actually going. We just say homelessness is a problem. Well, that's too big and amorphous to actually matter. What are we going to do this year, and how are we going to do it? And I think that's the change that we need in Sacramento.
All right, let's go to another back and forth that's happening in the city of Sacramento. The Sacramento police have stopped meeting with the Community Police Review Commission, something facilitated by the city manager, Howard Chan, and he explaining that the police department has a problem with the private activities of the commission chairperson, Kian Bliss. They haven't detailed what those are. Now, obviously, they still won't sit down with the review commission for just a community forum. You want to pull $70 million out of the police department's budget and kind of reorganize how that money is used for public safety. What's your take on this situation with the tension that's obviously here between the police department, the Community Review Commission, and being transparent with the community?
Yeah, well, the $70 million is really about the fact that we are in a $66 million deficit. So we don't have the money right now, and we really need to be thinking about what public safety looks like. We went 2 years with no youth homicides. We did that by investing in our nonprofit partners. That is by the admission of our city staff and our police department. So we want to do what works. And so when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about doing what Los Angeles Police Department proposed, which is shifting those dollars from the police department to non-police responders who can respond to mental health and homelessness, because that's not what our police are trained on. But that's a different issue than what's happening with the Police Review Commission, because this does not have to do with money. This has to do with engaging in personalities. And I think it is really disappointing that we have city leadership that is ultimately saying, because we don't agree with you and we don't like some of the advocacy work that you're doing, we are going to completely disengage with the city commission. That's unacceptable. You don't get to abdicate responsibility because you don't like what people say. And I think one of the skills that all of our city staff and elected officials need to have is the ability to engage in conflict resolution, the ability to sit down with people who may disagree and hear them out, because we get to better outcomes when we're actually able to hear each other out. It does not mean we'll agree on everything, and it does not mean that suddenly we live in, in a utopia world, right? But it does mean that we have an opportunity to have a real conversation, and many of the things that, our police review commissioners are bringing up are views that are held throughout the community. So if you don't want to meet with them, what you're basically saying is you're doubling down on a long-standing problem in Sacramento, which is a disconnect between our public safety officers and our community. And that is something that everyone has a responsibility, and I would say a mandate, to right that wrong and to move in a different direction. And so I'm incredibly disappointed that we're not showing more maturity and more professionalism in engaging with our appointed members.
We are out of time for now, but I'm hearing that you would be calling those sides to actually keep talking. So, of course, we're going to keep talking to you
Absolutely.
as this campaign marches toward the general election in November. Thank you for coming in this morning to express some of your views and kind of give a checkup on the campaign to this moment.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you.